Muki's Six Persimmons. Six persimmons that shook the Japanese art world. I am Muki, Dharma name Fachang. In the late Southern Song dynasty, in a small monk cell at Lingyan Temple in Hangzhou, near the shore of Westlake, I painted this six persimmons picture. It was an ordinary autumn day. Someone had brought a few just ripened persimmons from the surrounding countryside and placed them on the wooden table before me. Red and gleaming, still bearing faint marks from a light frost. I looked at them and suddenly no longer wanted to paint those solemn Guanyin and Arhat figures, nor did I want to paint mist-shrouded landscapes of mountains and water. I only wanted to paint these few persimmons. I ground the ink, picked up the brush, and began to paint directly. The first persimmon I rendered with the palest ink, its edges almost dissolving, as if it had just emerged from a dusty haze. The second I darkened slightly, giving it a hint of volume. The middle two I painted with the richest, heaviest ink, sinking heavily in the center of the composition, like two quiet, full hearts. Moving to the right, the ink tones gradually lightened again, until the last persimmon was barely more than a faint, almost imperceptible trace, as if it were already prepared to dissolve into emptiness. Six persimmons, staggered in height, arranged in a single row. No table, no plate, no branches or leaves, nothing for them to lean on. They simply float there in the picture, like six persimmons, like hearts suspended in space. I painted almost no background. The empty space occupies the vast majority of the painting. That is not mere blankness, but true emptiness. It breathes, it flows, it waits. It makes the six persimmons appear even more real, and it allows the viewer to step inside and be quiet together with them. When I painted it, my heart was actually very calm. I wasn't deliberately pursuing any artistic achievement. I just felt that when persimmons ripen, you should paint them. When a monk arrives, you should offer tea. The world is fundamentally without trouble. Why make an unnecessary fuss? To take the most ordinary things and paint them in the cleanest way. That itself is practice. Later, this painting traveled east across the sea with a Japanese monk and came to rest at Ryokoin, a sub-temple of Daitoku-ji in Kyoto. For centuries it has hung there quietly, contemplated again and again by generations of tea masters and monks. The shogun Ashikaga Yoshimitsu of the Muromachi period treasured it as a prized possession. Sen no Rikyu, the founder of the tea ceremony, saw in my brushwork the spirit of wabi-cha, finding a deep and quiet beauty within roughness and simplicity, within imperfection and incompleteness. Yet in China, it was almost forgotten. The literati painting tradition after the Southern Song emphasized refined brushwork, classical elegance, and vital energy. My painting was criticized by some as crude and lacking ancient method, meaning it was too rough, not following the rules of the old masters. Such an assessment was, at the time, practically a death sentence. Many of my works were scattered and lost because of it. Even my biographical records are extremely sparse. Chinese people almost forgot that there had once been a Chan monk who liked to paint watermelons, radishes, chestnuts, and crabs. And yet these very paintings, dismissed by Chinese literati, met with an entirely different fate in Japan. The Japanese call me a great benefactor of Japanese painting, placing me on the same level of reverence as Emperor Huizong of Song. A Chan monk and painter nearly forgotten in China is enshrined in Japan as one of the founding ancestors of ink painting. This is perhaps one of the most remarkable reversals in art history. Why can six persimmons generate such immense power? Some say they symbolize the purification of the six senses: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Some say one is many, many are one. Six persimmons are the entire world. Others say it embodies the practice of returning from the realm of form to the realm of emptiness. But I myself have never explained it, because Chan painting is never meant to be explained. It is meant to be seen. When you set aside all concepts, all analysis, all the words you want to say, and just quietly look at these six persimmons, you will find that what is in the blank spaces is not emptiness. It is air. It is time. It is the unspoken words. It is what Chan calls shunyat. When you gaze at those six persimmons for a long time, you will suddenly realize they are not static. They are breathing in and out, and your heart, following that breath, slowly grows quiet. In 1924, the Japanese scholar Saishin Tuda wrote a book simply titled Muki. He believed that the three greatest painters in the history of Chinese art were Liang Kai, Muki, and Seshu. And the first two were both Southern Song Chan monks. In 2023, after being held in Japan for nearly 400 years, this painting left Kyoto for the first time, crossing the ocean to be exhibited at the Asian Art Museum in San Francisco. Many people stood before it for the first time, unwilling to leave for a long while. Perhaps simplicity, directness, and stillness are best able to let a person, in a single instant, suddenly see clearly the shape of their own heart. This is the Fisher Art Museum. I am Muki. Thank you for your gaze. May you, in the clamor of daily life, also occasionally pause, observe the most ordinary thing, and be quiet together with it.